What is going on, Chocobros and Moogals? This is Kid Kupo.
Episode 18. The new Mortal Kombat movie I've been waiting for a while. I was a fan of the original. I think it's obviously one of the best gaming movies besides Silent Hill. I was always a fan of Mortal Kombat. I remember it was one of the first games I actually bought myself as a kid because I was like 3 or 4 when I played the original. And I used to I don't know, I guess I started getting a little allowance, doing little things here and there in the house, cleaning my room, I'd get allowance. And I ended up saving up, and I got the original Mortal Kombat because my cousins were older, and I would, not my cousins I was living with, but my cousin Bobby, he had Mortal Kombat, and I remember him telling me about it. I don't know how I remember this, I was so young. I guess I was mature for my age. I got less mature as I got older. But I guess, yeah, it was the first game I got for Genesis, and I remember the first match I ever played, I cried because I was so scared because Scorpion decided to end it with this fatality. So I was petrified. So I ended up going to see the movie when it came out in '95, and I ended up leaving early because I was afraid when Shang Tsung beat Liu Kang's brother. I don't know why. I guess I was a little baby when I was younger. I was petrified. But I watched it a couple years later and I loved it. Annihilation is a whole different story. I don't think we're going to get into that. But basically, I'm very excited because I did enjoy. I did enjoy the web series that came out with a couple years back, and it was very, very well done. And I wouldn't mind if they continued that. But this trailer they just released is fantastic. Sub-Zero was probably my first favorite character, but my favorite character is obviously Noob. When I talked with Vic, Goro is my favorite character. Noob Saibot and probably Reptile Kenshi, and I like Cabal, Kano. I have a lot of characters I like. But yeah, it's a lot of great announcements. First, I'm gonna go through Mortal Kombat. So over the years, we've had tons and tons of Mortal Kombat stuff. The spin-offs, some of them I enjoyed, some of them not so much. The one thing I really, really love about Mortal Kombat is the whole secretive stuff, the Easter eggs. In the first one, you have all you have Santa Claus flying over the pit moon and stuff like that, and you could fight Reptile at the bottom of the pit, basically made up of Scorpion and Sub-Zero's moves. The second, I believe, is Jade and Smoke in the Living Forest. I believe. I think they call it the Living Forest. The Living Forest. It is the Living Forest. I can't believe I can remember all this stuff. The third one was Rain. I think the third one was Rain. MK3 Rain. But either way, I just love the whole secretive stuff. The whole Easter eggs. It's stuff like that. That always grabbed me and just I don't know, it just always got my attention. I really enjoyed that. Sub-Zero Mythologies is probably the first spin-off game I ever played. And that game, I think I rented it when it first came out. It was a pain it was a pain. But yeah, I can't say I was a big fan of it. But there's the Jax one too. Mortal Kombat. Forget what it was. Okay, spin-offs. Special Forces, which came out in 2000, and then you have Shaolin Monks in '05. Shaolin Monks was a fun game. I really enjoyed Shaolin Monks. I believe me and my cousin beat that in probably like a couple hours. We just played it and played it and played it. Then we replayed it because I believe you could unlock other characters to play the story with, and it was just a hell of a time. I really, really loved going through that. But to backtrack a little bit, we had some animated films. The Journey Begins, the animated film. Oh, where to begin? The graphics were absolutely terrible. I've probably only watched it once, so I really don't remember it too good. So I don't really have much to say. I know there's a live action show, and there was also a stage show that came out. Those I really didn't. I really don't think I've ever watched those. MK Annihilation, just I don't have much to say about that. If you've seen it, you know. If you haven't seen it, yeah, don't see it. It's not worth it. The web series is fantastic. You could probably watch that on YouTube. And I recently just watched Scorpion's Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge. It's an animated movie. That was very well done. I really, really enjoyed that. It was a good watch. So if you are a Mortal Kombat fan, even if you're not a fan of Scorpion, I do highly, highly recommend checking that out. It was very, 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 very well done, and definitely check that out. And then, like I said, there was a stage show. I don't know much about that, but it was I don't know. It was a little. I guess it was mixed. I don't know. I really didn't read the reviews. I just didn't look good to me. I don't. It just looked like it was just kind of like milking the franchise. So I think I kind of skipped that. But like I said, there's a lot of announcements over the past couple days. We had, which I'm very excited for, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is going to be remade for Switch. I think that comes in late 2021 or early 2020. I'm not too sure. I know they are finally doing an open world Pokemon game. That I am excited for. That I've probably been waiting for forever. Pokemon Legends are I don't know how to pronounce it. Was it Arceus? I don't know how they say it, but it looks good. I guess it's a spin-off. It's an overworld spin-off. It's that I believe is going to be out early 2022, and the Diamond and Pearl, I believe, is the one that's going to be out late 2021. I think it's going to be like the usual. That'll be out the usual Pokemon release date. I think probably November, early November maybe. But I'm very excited for that. That is going to be probably a day one for me. Now, I mean, we haven't really talked about Final Fantasy, but I've kind of a bone to pick. I mean, Ever Crisis looks good. I'm not really a big mobile guy, though. I can't say that because I like mobile gaming, but cell phone mobile type gaming, I'm not a big fan. Handheld gaming, yes. Mobile gaming, not really a big fan. It depends on what the game is. There are a select few games that I do like Dokkan Battle, Final Fantasy. I forget what it's called. Final Fantasy Record Keeper was a good game. Final Fantasy what was it called? Final Fantasy Mobius. I never got to play. I don't know if that's still around, but Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is the one I was talking about. We're not even going to talk about All the Bravest because that was just an absolute just putrid, just garbage game, and they just never even should have took a chance in even trying to do whatever they were trying to do with that game. That game was just ugh. I did recently get a new mic, so I'm enjoying the new mic. I like it a lot. Got a really good price on it, so I ended up picking up a nice blue snowball. Nice blue snowball. I'm enjoying it. It's nice. I gotta get like a nice little stand for it, but. So what else on the agenda? We have the Final Fantasy VII Remake DLC. Now I heard it's only for the PS5. I have not got myself a PS5 yet. I've been planning to get a PS5 yet. I probably said maybe April, late March, April. I was probably gonna plan to pick one up, but I'm not sure yet. We're gonna see how that's going. So I guess from what I've seen so far, it's about Yuffie. It looks good. I guess it's when Cloud falls and lands in the church. It takes place during all that when Barrett and Tifa go back to the seventh heaven. I guess it's Yuffie and some. I guess it's a new character they made to be like a companion for her. But it's called Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. The main character, like I said, is Yuffie, and I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna release DLC for a game and only have it on the next gen system. I I mean, you should have put it. I mean, the majority of people probably have. I mean, I know you're giving the game for free, the upgrade for free to PS5, but I mean, you should still have the game released for the PS4. The majority of people have it for the PS4, and I guarantee the majority of people still have a PS4. Not everybody has a PS5. There's a deal with the scalpers. The scalpers have all these bots, and every time, I guess they're clearing out carts, and anybody who even has a chance of getting a PS5, they're not able to get it because the scalpers with all these bots, they're just going in and just emptying the all the PS5s that the stores are actually having in stock. They're just emptying all the stock. But I mean, what are you gonna do? That's why I figured just wait and see how when they fix all the bugs and stuff like that, and just wait. Because usually the whole first, I mean, I guess you got the Joy-Con, the whole Joy-Con analog thing with the PS5 controllers, the same as it was on the Switch. I guess it's a problem for all the next gen controllers. My Switch just recently got the Joy-Con drift. It's not too bad, but it's definitely noticeable. Because like I'll be playing Mortal Kombat 11, and my character will be just jumping up in the air, and I'm not enjoying that. It's not a good time. It's not a good time, but it's not as bad as I thought. I thought like it would make the game unplayable. But all I do is I push upward and it stops. It probably happens like once every other hour. Like it's not that big of a deal, but it's. I mean, I'm gonna end up getting a new controller just because it's a pain to even. I don't want to. I mean, I spent all this money on a system, and you want your system to work right. You want the controller to work right. Uh, but so I guess this just popped up on my screen. I guess Godzilla vs Kong is not going to end in a draw. So my whole take with that, I think it's the real Godzilla's captured. I guess I think the Godzilla that's fighting Kong is actually going to be Mecha Godzilla with like a synthetic type of skin over the metal to make everybody fall for it, and like that's why Godzilla is doing all these attacks, and people don't understand why Godzilla is attacking all these cities and stuff. So that's what I think is going on with they're gonna have going on with the movie, and then the real Godzilla comes and helps Kong take on Mecha. Who knows? I could be wrong, but that's just my initial take on what was probably going to be going down with it. Um, the new Oddworld looks pretty good. I was never a fan of Oddworld. It was too like I don't know. I don't know what the yeah. It just wasn't really. I like the whole concept of it, but I don't know. I don't really like the way it plays. And I don't know. I might check it out, but I haven't played it since I was a kid, so maybe that was the deal and why I didn't really like it. But I might check it out. So what else is going on this year? What else we got dropping? Uh, but yeah, that Mortal Kombat trailer was amazing. I cannot wait for the movie to come out. Um, that movie is gonna be fantastic. Sorry, this is the first time I'm doing working solo, so trying to get used to it and not having other people to talk to. So I'm just going off of the stuff that I wanted to talk about, and not too bad. March 5th, next week we have Linda Young, the original voice of Free, will be our guest. That I cannot wait for. That is going to be a great episode. I'm very, very excited for it. That's going to be probably a really good episode. Seems really, really cool. But I think there was a tease for a new Mortal Kombat 11 bundle. But I seen it was the characters that were all already announced. I don't know if it was supposed to be Tremor instead of Rain, but Rain was already announced, so I don't know if it was just a fan-made thing or what, but we'll have to wait and see. But I definitely I would definitely like to check out that Yuffie Yuffie DLC. It looked pretty good. I like the way she can throw her little boomerang thing. I don't know what they call it. I'm not sure what they call it. But yeah, stuff. I'm really excited for it. But if you're watching this on YouTube, let me know what you're excited for in the comments. But the Beatles movie that Jackson is doing, it's gonna be done by Disney. That's supposed to be a real good movie. I guess he got a hold of like 56 hours of footage, and from when they originally did the Let It Be, and the Let It Be, I guess, movie, I guess, was more like a downer type movie. They were arguing a lot. Everybody seemed a little perturbed at each other, and I guess this new take is Paul McCartney said he's seen it and he said he really enjoyed it, and it was really well done, and he's really excited to see it come out and have everybody else see it. So that gets me excited, and I hope it's good. I love the Beatles, huge Beatles fan. Ever since I was a kid, I used to have like the Beatles haircut. Everybody said I was like a little Beatle back in the day. So I guess ever since, I mean, I grew up with all the oldies, and the Beatles were always like, was Twist and Shout was probably my favorite song as a kid. I'd go to this pizza place that my cousin worked at, and I would always ask for a quarter to put in the jukebox. And the two songs I would always play were Twist and Shout and Do You Love Me? Now that I can tell. Sorry. But yeah, we're going to be doing some going to be trying to do some video soon, so we're not just working with audio. That's going to be coming up in the future in the next couple episodes, so definitely look out for that. Those episodes will be released on YouTube. We are working to get a better YouTube presence, and I love Anchor, but we're going to be definitely working to get a better presence with YouTube, and hopefully that'll work out. So in the near future, we're going to be doing some video instead of just doing audio.
How's it going, man?
What's going on?
I didn't want to leave you in the lurch, so here I am.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just in the middle of talking about what's going to be going on in the future, and I went through some stuff that was released. Pokemon Diamond, I went through the new Mortal Kombat trailer, the new Final Fantasy Ever Crisis mobile stuff, and the DLC.
I'm kind of bummed about the DLC because I've only got a PS4 and I really wanted to play it.
Exactly what I'm saying. But I mean, if you had a migraine, you don't have to. I don't want you to have to.
No, I'm doing better.
All right.
I'm doing better.
Yeah. No, I don't want you to think I was giving you an attitude because I just wanted you to relax and feel better. You know what I mean?
I spent the whole week kind of laid up on the couch after the car accident, so I kind of need to like move around and do stuff other than just kind of laying around and messing around on my phone. So
I'm glad you're okay. But anyway, yeah, look what we got. Nightfall just dropped in the party. How's the new mic sound?
It sounds really good.
You like it?
Yeah.
I like it because when I pronounce my puh, I feel like I can like hear it, and I like the way it sounds. Like my B's and my P's, and I keep trying to say as many P words as I can because I just feel like it just sounds very, very good. But yeah,
this sounds worlds better.
Yeah, I know. I got a good deal on it, so I'm excited. I'm gonna get a soundboard eventually. So I know I gotta get you that figure too, but I haven't been really working, so I'm just gonna cut this out. But I gotta get you that Android figure. I promised you.
It's no rush.
I know. I just haven't been working, so.
Well, weather doesn't really help that.
Exactly.
So, my cat's attacking me.
I caught at the door.
Oop.
How was that?
You sound far away.
You hear me now?
It sounds like you're away from the mic.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
There we go. I don't know what happened. I guess the USB plug got unplugged a little bit.
Oops.
Can you still hear me?
Yep, I can still hear you loud and clear.
All right, good. Yeah, I guess the USB plug got unplugged. Yeah, it was a pain to try to get a plug for this.
What kind of plug?
It had like, I think they call it like a Thunderbolt or plug or something like that. It's like one end's like a regular USB, but the other end that plugs into the back of the mic is like a square type plug.
Oh, okay. I know what kind of wire you're talking about.
And I guess none of the stores sell them. You have to get it either from like Amazon or bid on eBay. And
that's a bummer.
Or you have to, yeah. So they ended up having one at the place at the pawn shop.
Okay.
But my fiance put the money up for me, so I got to pay her back and when I work next week.
Okay, that was very nice of her.
Yeah, I guess it was like a little Easter present. I don't know why she's buying me Easter presents. I'm 32 years old. I don't need an Easter present. But yeah, to fill you in, we went through some of the Mortal Kombat stuff. I went through like I talked about when I was a kid and stuff, and basically just talking about how I was crying. The first game I ever really bought my own money when I was like 4. I had like if I would clean my room, I'd get like an allowance. I saved up. I got Mortal Kombat and Scorpion. The first match I ever did his fatality, and I cried. I was scared. I ran and hid. And then the movie came out in '95, and I left the theater right after Shang Tsung beat Liu Kang's brother because I was afraid. So like I was a little baby when I was a kid. I was afraid of everything, I guess.
Great fights, though.
Oh, they were amazing. I can't wait for the new movie. That looks fantastic.
Oh, and it seems to me like it's Mortal Kombat the way it should be, where it's actually like, R-rated, because I mean that's not a game for it's not Street Fighter. It's not like, tank any way.
No, not at all. I like the little series they had on YouTube. It was a little more realistic take. I like the take on it. But this movie just looks fantastic. It looks exactly like what I've ever pictured a Mortal Kombat movie should be. Like, especially when Sub-Zero grabs the blood and turns into a dagger and stabs Scorpion.
Yes.
That looked fantastic.
I think that YouTube series was like a way to try and convince people to do like a pilot series or something. Because, I mean, it was like the origins of most of the main characters from like the first game.
The Baraka was a little weird. He was like a surgeon. instead of being a tar or whatever Tarkin. I forgot that. I can't pronounce.
Tarkatan.
Turan. What is it?
Tark. I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah,
I played a little bit of 11 before I jumped on.
Yeah, I was actually playing too. You have it on Switch?
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta play. I've been using my noob sidebot. That's my dude. So hopefully, I'm hoping noob is gonna be in the movie. There's like a little scene where I couldn't tell if it was Sub-Zero, but I don't think Sub-Zero goes through portals. It looked like it was noob shadow portal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. I seen Goro and I was like, oh my god, yes! Don't let him die.
I really hope that Vic Chow ends up doing the voice. Just kind of like a nice little Easter egg that we don't know about.
I know. I don't think he'll be able to say even if we asked him.
Not until after the movie's out, at least.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised they didn't have Johnny Cage. They got that new guy in there.
Yeah, I guess the Miz wants to be Cage in the second movie. He's petitioning, I guess, to do like.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, he's got the right.
I'm very selective when a wrestler comes. Like The Rock did. He's gonna be a hell of a Black Adam. I cannot wait for the Black Adam movie.
Yeah,
but like when Triple H was doing movies, I couldn't really take him serious. Stone Cold, I really couldn't take him serious. There was just something about The Rock and the way The Rock kind of like.
Of all wrestlers, Edge is actually a decent actor. He was on a show called Haven, and I think the Vikings show, and he did a really good job.
Yeah, I never seen him. I didn't watch Vikings yet. It's actually one of the shows that I really want to check out. But like John Cena, I could not take John Cena. I cannot take
face on the screen.
Yeah, it's like you can't even see the guy anyway. It's like, what am I supposed to be watching? All I see is a blank background.
Exactly.
I mean, I hear grunts and stuff, but I don't see none. Like, what are you trying to show me?
How many people will get that joke?
I hope everybody.
Well, one person showed this picture, and it's like John Cena with his hairstyle that he's got right now, and it's like he's slowly turning into Ernest from all those Ernest movies back in the 80s. And I can't unsee it. I just can't unsee it.
Ernest becomes a wrestler. Ernest Scared Straight was probably one of the best. I think it was Ernest Scared Stupid or something like that.
Yes.
I forget. Yep. I was a kid when I seen it.
Pretty dark story for a supposed to be a kids movie.
I know. If you go back and watch, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. If you go back and actually watch some of the movies for kids and some of the cartoons, like I was watching the dinosaurs, they have some innuendos. I don't know if that's the right word, but some of their jokes are so for adults that like you kind of cringe when you hear them. They're like, oh, wow. But I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah.
You're one of my favorite co-hosts.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, I mean, if you ever don't feel good, just please, you don't have to feel like you have to come on. You know, I think I was doing pretty well holding it down by myself.
Okay.
But it's always better to talk to somebody else.
Yeah, I always feel it's better to have someone to talk to. It's when I've done the solo shows on Rulebooks Anonymous, it's just weird talking to myself.
Yeah, you can start sharing those in the Kupokast. You know that, right?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You should know that by now. I thought I told you.
You may have, and I just didn't it didn't sink in.
Yeah, it's definitely. Actually, before you. What was that, sorry?
I was going to say, one of the funny things that I do when I'm doing the solo cast is I'll have like a bobblehead or something so that I can look at something while I'm talking. So it feels like I'm having a conversation. Probably just makes me look more like a crazy person.
See, the way I was doing it, I was just doing like more or less updates and like how I feel about stuff that's coming out and like just like basically updates on what we're doing with the podcast. I was talking about the new Beatles movie coming out by great, what was his name? Jackson. Great. What's his name? I forget his name.
I think you told me about that when we talked about the Beatles. I don't remember.
Yeah, the new Beatles movie coming out. I forget. Peter Jackson, who's doing the new Beatles movie, and Disney's gonna be releasing it. I know how much all the rest of the co-hosts love Disney and their way of how they've been representing themselves and the stuff they do, Everybody loves them in Kupokast.
Yeah, if I can separate out some of the bad stuff and enjoy the good stuff.
Yeah, I love Mickey Mouse and Steamboat Willie. I'm actually a huge Disney fan, so I mean, I can separate one thing from another. With like
It's important to do that.
yeah, like with some of the voice actors who got in trouble, like with some of the stuff that's come out recently, and not recently, but like a couple of years back or last year or whatever. I was able to separate the franchise from them and their character from the person who voice acts. I don't really want to go too much into this, but basically, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's and if people get offended by certain things and then just like cut themselves off from a franchise, then I mean, it won't be long before you find something that offends you about almost everything, and you won't have anything to entertain yourself.
see, that's the problem with me with today, is that everybody just always has to find something to just find offensive. So right now, I'm gonna say the Beatles are better than BTS, and I better not ever read another article that ever says that BTS is better than the Beatles. Because that's just asinine to even to think. The Beatles are timeless. BTS is the next fad. BTS is the new One Direction, basically.
Oh, sorry, I can't get into those pop. I mean, granted, I've shown my kids like some of the old like Backstreet Boys stuff just because.
Of course, when we grew up with, But the Beatles to me are just so timeless, and just kids. They're on like number 21 on the billboards today. And they haven't had an album, and I mean they have McCartney's solo album just recently came out, McCartney 3, but they haven't had an album since 1970, 1969, which was what Abbey Road. Let It Be was their final album.
Yeah,
Abbey Road was actually their final album, but they released it before Let It Be, I believe is how it went.
and I think they still have like a whole bunch of unreleased stuff that's just kind of sitting in a vault somewhere. So I mean, there's that potential. It's the same thing with like Michael Jackson has a whole bunch of unreleased stuff that's just kind of sitting there in the estate vault that may one day see the light of day.
There's that one song that McCartney wanted to release. Something circus. Light circus or something like that. Carnival of Light. It's like an avant-garde recorded. Like I don't know. They say it's an unreleased avant-garde recording. But it was they commissioned the Million Volt Light and Sound Rave commissioned them to do it in '67, and I guess it was like very experimental, so they never really released it. But it's definitely like something that I definitely want to check out because I like a lot of their experimental stuff is actually the greatest stuff. I mean, look at Sgt. Pepper. It's one of the greatest albums of all time. I don't know where you stand with the Beatles, but I can't go an hour without talking about the Beatles.
That's why I think I told you is like I'm amazed at how many Beatles songs that I know that I didn't realize were Beatles songs.
Yeah, like the thing with me is I can put on like with some bands I like some songs I can put on an album, but I'll have to skip to certain songs. With the Beatles, I can put on a Beatles album and still find songs I haven't heard. Well, now not anymore, but I could just listen to every single album all the way through and not even change a song because every single song I'm not trying to be an elitist or anything like that because I don't like every Final Fantasy, but I can honestly say I like probably every Beatles song that I've ever heard. And I'm not sure if there's very many that I haven't heard yet besides like some of the unreleased
I think the
stuff.
last album that I listened to like that would have been the very first Evanescence album because I loved Amy Lee's voice and everything.
Yeah.
And I was really bummed when the band broke up because I mean it's just when they lost Ben Moody, like the sound just didn't sound the same,
I liked Evanescence when they first came out, but in my town, every single girl that like in my school wanted to be Amy Lee and tried to sing like her. So it was like too much. Everywhere I went, the girls wanted to be Amy Lee. So I was like way too much, and I couldn't I just had enough of Evanescence. They just got way too much for me.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I still respect them and what they did for music. So I mean, why I got you in here? What was your take? I mean, with Mortal Kombat, like, what was your first experience with it?
My very first experience with it was going over
I
to
feel
a
like I'm,
friend,
I feel like I'm
and they.
interviewing you. Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. It was going to a friend's house, and they had gotten. I think it was the Sega Genesis version.
Yeah, it was the best one. It was the one with the blood code.
Yeah, and we were playing, and we would just play that for hours on end. And I think the one I was best with was either Scorpion or Raiden at the time, and I just remember that Goro would absolutely destroy me every time I got to him.
Back, forward.
Yeah, I tried.
Back, forward. He
Yeah.
screams, and I love that move. My buddy, who actually loves the podcast, always listens to every episode. He's the type of, you always have your different types of fighters. There's a guy who does all the combos, the juggles. He's the guy who finds the character that you could do that one move over and over and spam it and win like that. The type of guy you want to grab and give him a stone cold stunner.
I hated playing this friend 2-player because he would always like get me in a corner and then just keep tripping me.
That is the worst. That and being juggled into a corner, I couldn't take. That just drives me absolutely nuts. Do you have time? A little bit, like half an hour to talk.
Yeah,
right.
I'm good.
All right, that works. All right, yeah. So cut this out, but yeah. If you want to, can you just talk about, like, I guess your first experience. I mean, the spin-offs, and I was going into the spin-offs and the different movies that came out, the animated series, and stuff like that.
See, someone posted this thing on Twitter, and I tried to tag you in it, and it was like Mortal Kombat Academy or something, and it was like all the female characters, but they were drawn like the DC superhero girls, but I don't think that ever saw the light of day.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
It's just, it's right up there with that Saturday morning cartoon version of Mortal Kombat. It's like you're taking something that is basically R-rated and marketing it to kids, and the kids can't even buy the games on their own. They have to have their parents do it, and because of the ESRB rating and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so weird seeing that, because I think the cartoon came out right about the same time as the first movie. And it was just like, hey, we gotta hit this hard. We gotta, get as much money as we can. And it was just like campy, like so campy. I think it lasted maybe one season, but it was on like USA's Cartoon Express or something on the.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it played alongside like Savage Dragon and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't not have an R-rated Mortal Kombat.
Exactly.
I mean, the first movie was good, but I mean, it wasn't as good as it could have been.
Now, that was the problem with the PG-13 rating. I mean, there's only so much you can do. And then if you look at like kung fu movies or even like any kind of martial arts movies from the 80s and 90s to today, I mean, the choreography has gotten way better. So, I mean, we should get some amazing fights in this new movie.
I'm excited for the movie, but actually just thinking now, I think it's kind of hard to have like a really, really good Mortal Kombat movie, because a lot of the characters are going to be probably one and dones, and I feel like a show would be better just because you can flesh out the characters a lot better than I mean, you only got a certain time in the movies. I mean, more than 3 hours. I don't think the movie's gonna be a 3-hour movie. It's probably gonna be like almost a 2 hour, maybe 2 hour and a half. I don't even know if it would hit 2 hour and a half, maybe 2:15. It's so hard because, like, in the original with Reptile, he got made to look like a punk beat.
Yeah.
And I love Reptile. Was my first favorite character.
Well, and with the ways that they've expanded upon the story and with all the different characters and their backgrounds, I mean, if you don't show enough of one character, you're going to piss off one sect of the fans. And then if you show too much of another character, piss off others. And it's like, you got to pick your poison. Who you're going to focus on.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like Kano's going to be a good guy with the Earth Realm. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but that's what it looked like to me.
I'm wondering if that's just bait and like he's going to, betray them in the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm probably thinking.
You can't really have Kano as a good guy. He was
no. He's one of my favorite bad guys. He's just so great.
Yeah. But it looks like the focus might be mostly on Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
And there's that Cole guy, I guess. Cole, whatever.
Yeah.
That new guy, I guess he was made. I never heard of him, so I guess he's just for the movie.
fake Johnny Cage.
Yeah, exactly. He's like basically a Johnny Cage and Liu Kang if they did a fusion dance.
Yeah, I guess so. I can see that.
Now, were you big into the Mortal Kombat games? Like, did you play them all or most of the main series?
I have played a good deal of them, and it was usually just solo play because I'm one of those weird people that likes to play some of these fighting games for the story.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like getting my butt whooped online or by my friends just because it's like, I'll be calm and cool, collected in the beginning, and then I start doing the button mashing thing where I'm like twisting my body into a weird position, and it's just I'd rather just like enjoy the story and play a little bit. I might dabble a little bit online, but not too much.
Yeah, I don't take losing too well. I mean, obviously I do. I'm not like a terrible sore loser, but I just hate losing. But I still haven't played an online match. I've been just like practicing with like a couple of characters I'm gonna main, and then a couple characters that I might like use as like, I don't know, in case I feel like change up my characters. But
Okay.
what did you play like Armageddon and like all those the three?
I did play some of those later ones where they just was
Yeah.
really hitting a slump, and then finally they decided, okay, we need to just realign everything that we're doing and bring steer the ship back towards where we want to go. And that's when like Mortal Kombat 9 came out, and that was when I think I've said this before. I really hate time travel as a plot device. It just seems like lazy writing to me. And if you've been playing the series for a while, at that point, I mean, home consoles had taken over, and it just was more equitable for these places to make console versions than arcade cabinets.
I will say I liked the Conquest, and I love the roster of Armageddon because there was just so many people. Did you have Mortal Kombat Trilogy? I had it for 64. I think it came out for PlayStation in 64. It was Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 all combined.
I think I did.
That was a hell of a Mortal Kombat just because I had every single person. Oh, it was so good.
I just like the convenience of having all three games in one go. And it's like, okay, I'm done playing this one. I just want to play the other ones.
Exactly.
That's one of the reasons that I got Mortal Kombat 11 on my Switch, even though I had it on PS4, is that it's portable now and I can take it wherever I want.
Exactly. That's why I like the Switch so much. I wish the regular Persona 5 would come out on the Switch, and I don't know if Cyberpunk would be too much. It'd probably be too much to put on the Switch.
It might be. But Mel, if Shinobi Strikers does well, or Persona Strikers, sorry, if that one does well on the Switch, then I could see them possibly porting over some of the other Persona games.
I love the Dynasty Warriors type games.
Have you played Hyrule Warriors? The new
love one? It. Not the new one. I played the original Hyrule Warriors for the DS, and I had it for Switch. You're talking about the Breath of the Wild one, right?
Yeah, Age of Calamity. That one's
I never played that. I've heard it was great. I gotta check it out.
Oh yeah, all the characters have a really distinct way that they fight, and it's a lot better than the first one. I mean, they took what was good about the first one and improved upon it.
Wow, it must be a hell of a game then. Yeah, I gotta check that out eventually. I was always a big Dynasty Warriors fan. I loved Hyrule Warriors, so I'm gonna definitely check this out.
I never really got into the original Dynasty Warriors games. I just got like I would play the spin-off or like the ones that are sort of like it, and I just never really did the Dynasty Warriors games.
The Dragon Quest Heroes is pretty good too. The Dragon Quest version of it.
I may have that.
It was good. I love that. But I for some reason I don't know how my brain works, but I thought Persona Strikers was like a volleyball game for some reason. I have no idea why. And then I heard it was like a Dynasty Warriors game. I was like, oh wow, why haven't I been following this? I need to just stop assuming and watch trailers instead of just assuming what a game's like.
Oh, I definitely need to check that one out too, because my first thought was it was going to be some kind of fighter game. They did do a Persona fighting game back on the 360, but it was, I think, mainly Persona 4.
Yeah, I gotta definitely check. I don't think I've played that one. What was it called?
Hold on a second. I think I have it on my 360, but I just haven't played it in a while. Let's see. It is Persona 4 Arena.
Is that the fighting game, like the Mortal Kombat and Tekken type fighting game?
It's 2-dimensional, so it's a little bit closer to like Guilty Gear and stuff.
I think I've played that. I have one of the Guilty Gears for I think it's Guilty Gear for the Switch, but I'm so terrible at it. I really, really am not good at it. I wish I was better.
That's one of those weird over the top games because they have like bizarre characters and super moves that just defy physics and everything. But it's a good time. Very good time.
So what do you think about what do you like mobile game? Are you a big mobile gamer? That remake is 7, the Ever Crisis. I don't know if you've seen that trailer yet. I'm very interested in it. Except I'm not. If it came on the Switch, it'd be like the perfect little love child for me. If it's gonna be a phone game, I'm not really that interested. I'm not big on phone games.
Phone games, mobile gaming is kind of the redheaded stepchild of gaming because everyone will take shots at it because it's kind of it's easy. And I mean, honestly, mobile gaming isn't that bad. It just depends on the kind of games you want to play. Because I mean, sometimes it's weird using like a touch screen on a game that should have a controller.
Yeah, that's the thing I like about handheld gaming better than like the gaming on a phone is because you have like the analog and like you have the buttons and stuff. It's just hard. I don't know. It's just I guess I'm just not like I don't know. But I mean, I was naming off some games like earlier. I liked some of the Final Fantasy mobile games and Dragon Quest and like there's Yu-Gi-Oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh card game that I really liked. But
Duel Links.
Duel Links, yeah, I love Duel Links. I was actually pretty nasty, but I ended up losing that account and having to make a new one.
Oh, that sucks.
I forget what it was linked. It was linked to like a different email, and I ended up having to make a new one. I had a pretty nasty deck. I forget what kind of deck it was. I think it was like a dragon, like just a beast, like roll you over dragon deck.
Okay.
Which I mean, if you had like a good counter, you were destroying me. But if I got a good head start, like I was basically winning 9 out of 10.
I ended up going with a hero deck in there. Kind of an off-brand hero deck for the most part. It was mostly fire type monsters.
Nice. I heard the Yu-Gi-Oh game for the Switch was pretty good. I haven't played it though.
See, I keep seeing that, and I'm just like, do I want to get it? Yes, no, and I end up getting something else.
Yeah, I was looking at Deadly Premonition. I heard that game is so bad it's good. I guess. Have you played Deadly Premonition?
I'm trying to remember.
Go to this town like you're like a FBI agent. You have to it's like I guess if they compare it to Twin Peaks. I've never seen Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks is a trip, man. It's a really weird show.
Yeah, I guess they compared it to that. It's really
no, I don't know anything about this one.
Yeah, I guess the first one was like one of those like really really bad games, but it had this, like such a cult following. And the second one, I guess the first one's better than the second one.
Okay.
Second one's just bad, I guess. I don't know. I haven't played it, so I don't really have much of an opinion. I just going off of what I've heard people say.
Okay.
But yeah, going back to mobile gaming, I was reading a thread. I guess it's huge in the East, like in Japan.
Oh yeah,
this mobile gaming is huge there.
Oh yeah, just about everything is made into a mobile game in the East. I mean, you can pick an anime franchise or even something that lasted one season. There's probably a game about it, or at least some kind of tie-in with other games. And unfortunately, we don't get a lot of the cool stuff that they do because I mean they've got some amazing games and things over there, but it just never makes it over shores because they got to do a lot of translations and they got to do all sorts of different stuff with the coding and everything. So, I mean, we do miss out, unfortunately. Unless you can speak and read Japanese, then you're golden.
Right? I wish I could learn Japanese. I don't think I couldn't even learn. I couldn't learn Italian. I thought I could learn Japanese.
I know attack names and food. That's the extent of my Japanese.
I don't think I know anything. How did you see the Pokemon? Did we talk about? We didn't talk about the Pokemon.
We talked about it a little. I'm really interested in that open world one about Arceus.
Yes, so it is Arceus. I don't know if it's Arceus, Arceus, or Arceus. I couldn't tell about the pronunciation.
Pokemon Jesus, I believe. or is it Pokemon God? I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Giratina is the Pokemon devil, right?
I couldn't even tell you. I'm not really good with the legendaries.
Like one was supposed to be God and the other was supposed to be the devil, some weird stuff like that. And then, some little 12-year-old kid comes along and captures God in a ball. So, I mean, that's kind of
Mew. And
Yeah.
I know Groudon and the other one, the whale.
Kyogre.
Kyorg. I don't know. It has an E, I think, at the end of it. Kyorg. I don't know. I can't say it. I want to. I've already probably embarrassed myself. But I've been playing Dragon Ball Heroes.
Oh, what do you think of that one?
Pretty good. I mean, I like card games. If you're not a big card game guy, I mean.
Oh yeah.
You'd probably like it then.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like one of those games where have you played it?
Yeah, I've gotten a little bit into the story. I just haven't played in a while.
See, my whole thing is I juggle too many games. I'll start a game, then I'll start another game, then I'll be like, oh, I want to try this. I'll start another game, and I'm so bad. I need to break that habit.
Well, it's like our first conversation. I still need to finish Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I start to beat Cyberpunk. Oh, what did you think about Cyberpunk? You ended up playing it, right?
I still haven't played it yet. It's still sitting in my PS.
I thought you, because I know you said you're gonna play it that weekend. I wanted to see how you played it, if you played it or not.
Well, I've got the next 2 weeks off just between vacation and recovery, so I will have an opportunity to play. So, but it'll be nice to actually just
get that rest and relax.
Well, sadly, I think my truck is done for. They finally got back to me with the estimate, and it's about twice as much as what the truck is worth. So,
sorry about that.
I am
glad you're all right. You know.
Yeah. See, I really like my truck, and I don't want it to. I didn't want to have to go through the horrors of buying a new one because I hate that whole process.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. But it'll be okay in the end.
Yeah. I'm happy you're all right. I mean, it sucks that you had to go through that with the truck, but hopefully it's easy on you to get a new one. You know what I mean? It's not too hard.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass.
Well, I just looked at every time I looked at the pictures of the damage, I was like, oh. And I didn't think he hit me hard enough to actually do that kind of damage because I mean the back end was all messed up, but it actually like damaged the cab and the frame. But I was at like a stop and he was going like 45. Oh yeah, when the frame is messed up, then that's pretty much it. You're done.
So what, you just stopped at a light and just boom?
The light was yellow. I came to a stop. He thought I was going to go through the light or something.
Just kept going.
And just bam, right into the back of my truck.
How can you make that assumption? You have to.
Yeah, he tried to stop. Way too late, but
yeah, I can imagine he tried to stop once he already hit you.
Yeah. Well, it was just so gnarly because I mean it was like I looked at the skid marks and it was like 10 feet back from where like the back end of his truck was. So it's like, okay, you didn't stop soon enough, dude.
Yeah, and your tires.
But at the time I was just more concerned with everybody being safe and okay.
Yeah. Were you by yourself? I hope you're by yourself. You were by yourself. Right?
I was. This was like right after work.
Not that like just hoping everybody would have been all right if you weren't by yourself.
Yeah, and the other driver and his kiddos were okay. I mean, but like his
even
truck,
if he had kids in their car too, you have to be way more alert than just stopping.
I will seem to stop. And I will be perfectly honest. I drive a lot more cautiously when I have my kids in my vehicle than when I am by myself. I mean, it's a subconscious thing.
Yeah, and you just seem like someone who's like well put together, that just knows how to drive when you're like, you know what I mean? When you're supposed to drive like this, you drive like this, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Just you basically just know what you got to do when you got to do it.
Exactly. And it's just, it's a route that I drive every day for work. And then all of a sudden, just, it's just that one bit of bad luck. So, oh well.
I wouldn't even say it's bad luck on your part. It's just somebody who just, so I guess, being a little too reckless than they should have been, especially with kids in the car. Ugh.
I'm just glad that nobody was hurt. I mean, that was my main focus right after it happened, and then, yeah, I just think that, yeah, I'm thankful that I had the insurance to cover everything. So thank God for that. But it just gives me more time to play games,
Right.
and catch up on movies and things like that.
What have you been playing or watching?
I'm very late to the party. I've finished the first 2 John Wick movies.
I think I watched the first one. I don't think I've watched the second or third. I haven't even arrived yet. I'm still on my way there.
Well, I know that the basic premise was that he was getting revenge because someone killed his dog, which is, an appropriate response when someone kills your dog.
Yeah.
Kids don't go out and commit mass murder because someone killed your dog.
No.
Got to throw that disclaimer out there.
Don't do that.
Yeah, but it's one of those mindless action movies that I didn't have to think about. So I just enjoyed it.
Yeah, some of those can be really well put together and fun to watch. Like I don't know if you ever watched like Death Wish, when I guess the gang that kills the dude's wife and daughter or whatever, and it's Charles Bronson, I guess.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, it's an oldie. Dude, I watched so many old stuff.
There's one with Mel Gibson where he's basically the bad guy. I think it was called Payback.
Payback. I don't think I've seen that.
He's like a hitman, and he and his partner went and did this job, and like his cut of the job was like $32,000 or something, and his partner stole his money, left him for dead. He comes back and he's going after his old partner, and the whole premise is like, I just want the $32,000 that I earned on that job. And they keep like thinking that he wants more than that. He's like, no, I don't want $300,000. I just want the 32. And he just keeps like insisting. He's like, just this amount.
You've seen the amount you originally said I was supposed to be paid.
Yeah, it's just it's absolutely ridiculous, but it's a fun movie.
I wish Hollywood would take more chances with movies. I feel like everything's done on like this. Like everything's just like has its like certain rules and way like it's done. Like movies are very similar, you know what I mean? Like there's so many like action type movies that take the same premise, and you know what I mean? Like I wish they would take more chances with different ideas and stuff. Because I mean, what was the last great like eye-opening movie you've seen?
Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes, great movie. I was actually wanted to watch that last night, but my fiance doesn't like it. I don't know.
Is it because of the pale man?
I don't know why. I think it's because just to read. And that's 06. It is now 2001.
Yeah, I mean, that was a movie that I just got a lot of enjoyment out of. I had been reading about it, and I thought, I saw pictures of the pale man with his hands up, with his eyeballs in his hands, like, oh, that's tame. And then I see it on the screen and everything, and I was like, oh, this is so much more disturbing than I thought.
The Irishman, I really enjoyed when I seen that. That was 2019. But before that, probably The Departed. And when did The Departed come out?
That was
2011, maybe 2006. Wow. So before, I mean, you would like mobster type movies and stuff like that. I mean, I love like Goodfellas and like Bronx Tale and The Departed. I love
Donnie
Brasco.
That's one of my favorites.
You said?
Yep, Donnie Brasco. Original Godfather, the first one. I didn't really care for the sequels.
I don't think I've seen the sequels to Donnie Brasco.
Oh no, to The Godfather.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, obviously, everybody already said 1 and 2 were the best. 3 was just ugh. Yeah, when I first seen The Godfather, I could not sit and get into it, and then years later, I sat down and actually watched it. It's just such a great movie.
It's one that you have to be in the right mindset for, I think, honestly.
Yeah. I think he Francis Ford Coppola did I think he did The Outsiders, didn't he?
Maybe.
I believe he did The Outsiders. Directed. He did Apocalypse Now. He did.
That's another good one.
I've never seen it. I gotta see it. He did The Outsiders, which is one of my favorite books and movie. He did Jack. I loved Jack when I was a kid. I haven't seen it in a while, so I can't tell you how I feel about it now. But he did some pretty good movies. But Martin Scorsese, he's probably my favorite. He did Dracula too. Bram Stoker's Dracula. That's great. But yeah, sorry, I keep jumping over the place. But probably Martin Scorsese is probably my favorite director of all time. Because you got Goodfellas, you got Bronx. No, he didn't do a Bronx.
Taxi.
He did Goodfellas, Casino, The Departed, Taxi Driver, Wolf of Wall Street, The Irishman. His first movie was actually fantastic. Mean Streets. That was a good movie. Gangs of New York is one of my favorite movies of all time. Wolf of Wall Street, absolutely amazing. I never seen Hugo. Never seen Cape Fear. Wow, there's a lot of movies of his I haven't seen, but
yeah, there's several that I need to do.
Yeah, the George Harrison movie he did, Living in the Material World, is probably one of my favorite documentaries. Such a good documentary. He makes really good documentaries too. He did a Roger Ebert film I want to check out.
Was that one about his life or something?
I guess it's called Life Itself. I kind of want to watch that.
Oh,
I might check that out tonight. I like watching documentaries, like stuff like that. I don't know, like I watched the Howard Private Parts. That was I thought that was a pretty good movie. Like,
yeah, it was weird seeing, because I never knew too much about Howard Stern to begin with, and so I watched that movie and it's like, oh, okay, so now I see why he's weird.
I've always kind of like watching the Howard Stern show, and like even though he was like so cringy and like just some of the stuff that he did, I just always I don't like him. I like his interviews and stuff like that. Like the people he interviewed were so diverse, but he didn't care what he asked. He just asked whatever the hell he felt like it was the thing.
Well, and he also seemed genuinely engaged with a lot of people too when he was doing the interviews.
Yeah,
I noticed on like late night TV, they don't seem as enthusiastic about doing the interviews as, like a Johnny Carson. I mean, Johnny Carson is always going to be king of late night, no matter what.
Yeah, of course.
But nobody's been able to really touch his chemistry with guests like that. Maybe Jay Leno a little bit, and Jimmy Fallon a little bit in the beginning. He's just kind of like fallen into a routine, which is very unfortunate.
Yes. I thought Conan was funny for a little bit.
That was one of the things that I would do, because like early 2000s, my buddies and I, we all worked until like maybe 10 o'clock at night. Then we go to one person's house and just like drink and hang out. We'd watch like SNL and Conan, or we'd go bowling because we had like this bowling alley that had like super dirt cheap prices at midnight. But it was, Conan was part of the routine for us. Simpler time.
Yeah, right. Me and my buddies would we were a little more experimentative, I guess. I'm not gonna go into it, but Guitar Hero was a big thing.
Definitely did that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of we do some random stuff. It's like it always involved doing a little token, but sometimes we'd go a little more. We'd go on a trip, I'd say.
Okay.
But,
yeah, I can't even use that as an excuse. We were all just dumb in my group. All right. Okay, so no joke. I have actually played in Mackey Stadium at UNR because they left the gate open. We actually just walked right in and started playing a little football on the field. It was a group of like 7 of us. The security guards didn't care. We weren't causing any problems. So I was like, yeah, now I can say that I played in the college stadium, even though I'm not a football player.
That's cool.
All 5'6" of me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was usually late night football. We would find some place to play. Oftentimes it was at the college campus, and we went up to like the back parking lot where the science building was, because the security guards would never go there and we wouldn't be bugged and there was still light. It was usually we would play until somebody got hurt. So roughly an hour or so. Worst one was my buddy. He goes to catch the long bomb and he caught it, but his momentum, he was just moving back, and he just slammed his head against the asphalt. Sounded like a bowling ball being dropped. Probably had a concussion, but we didn't take him to the hospital. Instead, we all went out and went to the pub.
Yeah, we were never like a bar type of group. We weren't like big drinkers. Like when we were younger, yeah, but it was more about the
Other stuff?
Yeah, the Mary Janes.
Okay.
I'm not really gonna get into it because I'm gonna do a whole episode. I announced, but that came like probably a little after. I mean, I was doing it while we would chill secretively. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna really get into it. But it was mostly about pot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, I don't have anything against pot. I think it's actually should be legalized. I don't know how you feel on it, but
I'm fine if it's legalized. I'm for the most part indifferent to it.
Yeah, I was always like into bud. I mean, it helps with cancer and stuff like that. I haven't really read the experiment, not the experience, but like the studies on it. But I mean, it never hurt me. I've never heard of somebody dying off of pot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the other show I do, Sparks of Interest, we had someone on that does like information on different strains of cannabis and everything to help with pain. And she had this thing where like all of her nerves were firing at the same time, so she was just in constant pain.
Oh.
And she found like the right strain of cannabis, and it helped her to get off of like the hardcore pharmaceuticals that they were giving her for pain management, because it's like this is a plant versus God only knows what's in this.
Yeah.
And it helped her so much, and she decided, okay, I need to spread the word to help people figure this stuff out.
I mean, I'm an all natural guy now, you know what I mean? Like I don't do nothing like the other crap, chemical crap. I mean, I like a little bit of I like to go on a little adventure once in a while, you know what I mean? Well, I did. Now I'm just like a little calmed down. I have my little oil pen. I like to sit home and relax after a day of work, and you know, that's about as far as I go with that now. But I mean, I was thinking back now, man. I smoked so much pot. I used to wake up and just my first thoughts was like, how am I gonna smoke a blunt today? Like when I was like 16, like you know what I mean. I had a really weird life, man. I don't even know I'm thinking about it now, but I'm gonna get into it. I've had a crazy life. Now I think about it.
In my experience with marijuana, when I've only smoked it like a couple of times, and I've been around people that have been smoking it. The only thing it did for me was just make me hungry. I was just disappointed. It's like, oh, well, this is a bummer, and this is at a time when I'm living in an apartment and I don't have any food. But we had a 7-Eleven down the street at least. But it's just kind of disappointing.
Yeah, some strands I get very bad anxiety, so I quit for a little bit. But I've always liked to smoke. It would help me relax and stuff like that with my anxiety. But sometimes, like I don't know if it would have to do with the strain or how my mind state was at the time, but I would really have a very very bad like I get really bad anxiety. Like I'd feel like everybody's looking at me, staring at me. What are they saying about me? Like you know what I mean? I'd start thinking about the weirdest stuff. For no reason at all. I don't know.
It could have honestly just been a strain, because I mean it's crazy when you think about how many strains there are out there. And they each have like different effects.
Yeah, I like a sativa because I'm already like a little uppity, so it's not gonna make me like. I feel like if I'm gonna be uppity and like I'm gonna like try to calm myself down, I'll kind of like feel a little, you know, if I'm gonna be uppity, just be uppity. So like I like to smoke a sativa because sativa is more like, I guess sativa is more like the talkative, like, and indica is like more like the body type high, I guess.
Okay,
That's how they say it. I don't know. I think that's how.
All right.
More like the upper, I guess.
Well, I did learn from video games that if I mix green weed with red weed, I get a lot more health back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
herbs.
good old Resident Evil. My first thought when I played those games was like, so you're just token to get your health back. Okay, I can dig it.
I was so dumb when I was little. I thought they ate the herb, and then I realized you rub it. Don't you rub it on the wound?
It depends. I think like when you're on the in the menu, it just like gives you your health back. But they got like the first aid spray, and that stuff's like, magic, where they
Yeah.
just spray you with Lysol, and all of a sudden your health is back.
I have a giant wound from a tyrant with like a 10-foot claw. Let me just spray it in the hole and maybe I'll feel better.
Yeah. Oh, that's not as bad as like Skyrim. Like, okay, let me pause this boss fight and eat 80 cheese wheels to get my health back. All right. That's just the way people get their health back in some of these games is just absolutely ridiculous. But it's good times.
Right, down for a synopsis. That's gonna be a funny little clip I want to do.
You found something?
I put tyrant stabs a character with claw and stomach. Character in RE then rubs the herb or the AIDS or sprays the AIDS spray in hole, curing self magically.
Yeah, I don't get that. It's like, are you going to regrow like, organs and blood and skin and everything with just being sprayed?
Right? Oh, that game. That was the whole reason I bought a PS1 was Resident Evil 1. My buddy had it, who's actually a very, very good streamer. So you guys should really go check him out. His name is Burger. It's Burger TV, BURGHER. Little bottom slash TV. If you like a good a nice good streamer, down to earth, really cool. Definitely check out Burger TV.
Alrighty. Yeah, when I first got my PlayStation 1, I didn't have a memory card. And so my buddy would come over. We would play Resident Evil, but we couldn't save. So it was basically see how far we could get without saving. Oh, it was painful. I saved up my money and got a save card as quickly as I could after that. I was like, I can't go through playing through for like 4 hours and then die and we can't go back. It was just it was such a pain in the ass. Of course, kids these days don't have to worry about that because they don't know what memory cards are.
Yeah, I remember the first time I didn't even know you had to get a memory card. I was so mad. I think I left the system on all night, even though I was worried it was gonna break.
Yeah.
I love this mic. Oh, I like holding it. I feel so professional. You know, my favorite mics are like the old '50s ones, the square ones you can hold in your hand.
Oh yeah, those things are heavy.
Yeah, that's how I hold this one because it has like a stand on the bottom. You can stand it up, or you can just fold all the legs in and like just hold it Oh, nice. But today I was told BTS is better than the Beatles, so that kind of upset me.
I don't know. Trying to compare music today to the classics and the legends is just it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to even try to do.
Yep.
Just not even.
All right.
I wouldn't even try to go there. But I think this is a pretty damn good episode.
Yep.
Thank you for dropping in. You didn't have to though, but I definitely, I appreciate you.
Yeah, my head's feeling a lot better, so I'm glad I was able to jump in and help.
Nice. Yeah, this episode ended up being a pretty damn good episode. I enjoyed this episode.
Thanks.
But don't forget, Sugar Bros and Mugals, that next week we do have Linda Young, the original voice of Frieza and the voice of Baba.
And Genkai from Yu Hakusho.
Ooh, I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah. Just look for a clip of Yusuke talking to Genkai and you'll hear it.
Wow. Yeah, because I didn't even realize that. I started Yu because I love his boy. What's his name? My friend said I remind them of him. Who's his buddy with the pompadour?
Oh, Kuwabara.
Kuwabara, yeah, I love that dude. Even though he's a punk, I love that dude.
My favorite's either Hiei or Kurama.
They just released I don't think they just released him, but Hiei is in the Jump Force game. I actually been playing it. It's fun.
The latest release was Yoruichi from Bleach.
Oh, they released it already?
I believe so. I need to check. I know that it was coming soon.
I seen the trailer. She looked like she was just just fast and just in your face and just you can't get away from her. She looked very like it.
I think it's the version from the end of Bleach in the manga, where she's just like super pimped out, super powerful and fast.
I use Aizen, I use Kaguya, and I use either Freezer or Cell.
Okay.
Kaguya is so OP.
Yes.
And Aizen, if you get off his black whatever it's called, the black box thing. Whatever. Well, you play Jump Force?
Yeah, I had it on the PS4. I did get it on the Switch. I made my character. I haven't delved too much into it.
I haven't. I got it on the PS4. I don't have it on the Switch, but
Yeah, and I got it was on sale really cheap, so that's why I got it on the Switch. It's like, all right, portable again.
I might stream it later. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I was. That's why I got the. I picked up Dragon Ball Fighters on the Switch. Thinking about picking up either Roshi, Bardock, or Janemba. Eventually, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Eventually, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really like.
Wait for like the pass to go on sale so that you can get all the characters cheap.
Yeah. There's a bunch of there's like probably 2 characters I don't really want, like really care less about, but yeah, it's a good idea.
Mhm.
But before Craig Bot decides to ruin my life. It's a hell of an episode. But next week, watch out for you gonna be a part of it or
Yeah. I got it all scheduled out.
all right. So next week, check me and Nightfall. I guess Apple wants to be a part of it. I don't know what's gonna go on with that, but Linda Young, it's gonna be a fun episode. I cannot wait. But I hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you're on YouTube, please let us know what you think in the comments. If you agree, if you don't agree. Till next week, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.